We don't exchange phone numbers. We get the number of the host for text and support. Here's our email for meeting confirmation, stepworkshop1@gmail.com. And this is good for school, class, work, probation, court orders, etc. And there's a link to the meeting in chat. We do all of the above for safety reasons, since we want to ensure everyone is new here and we want to protect you. Zoom bombers try to get in, and the above eliminates them. You'll notice this is a workshop and not a speakers or discussion meeting. It's like a class, AA 101, AA University. It's a very unique meeting since we use the same principles AA used between 1932 and 1939. Everybody works in the group and moves through the 12 steps to live our lives free from alcohol and learn a new way of living. Glad you could make it. Announcements. AA in this meeting is supported by our own contributions to Seventh Traditions. You can make donations to @Jann-Scott in Venmo. Contributions go to pay for Zoom, and we make monthly donations to Boulder 1 AA and Boulder County AA. Spend about $250 a month. This group meets daily with the following formats. Monday's step meeting, 12 and 12, Me Monday. Tuesday's Big Book, T-shirt Tuesday, AA Inspired is preferred. Wednesday, as Bill sees it, Sunglass Wednesday. Thursday's Beginners, steps 1, 2, or 3, or any beginner-related topic, and it's Dog Thursday. Friday's Open, the chair picks the topic, and it's Cat Friday. Saturday, Living Sober, Virtual Background Day, and Sunday today is Daily Reflections, Fashion Sunday. Please join me in the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. AA Preamble. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of people who share their experience, strength, and hope with each other. They may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We're self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organization, or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. There's a link to the newcomers packet in chat. With that, back to you, Jan, in the studio.
Okay. Thank you, Matt. Just returning from our big conference in Albany, New York, the state capital. Had nothing to do with the state capital. Oh, hey, how was Albany incident? Did you guys, was it thrilling to go to the big city?
For me, it was, but
It was because you're from a small town?
no, not really. But I have roots near Albany and stuff, so I just like to go down that way. But it was actually out near the airport, so it wasn't like in downtown Albany. But
Oh, wow. And how about you, Cassie? Were you thrilled to be in the big city? Yeah.
No, I'm down there all the time. My family is just like 20 minutes away from Albany.
Oh,
My
well,
friends are all down there.
excuse me.
Just another weekend.
Oh, well, yeah, just another weekend in the big city. I'm like,
Yeah.
fine. Okay. Okay, you can put it up now, Jesse. 1, 2, 3. Um, so hey, we are recording the meeting. We have a YouTube podcast channel, and all the instructions that we do here, we put over there on YouTube. We just started doing it this past month. So the guys are going to put up a link to our YouTube channel. So if you want to go to any of our classes with us, step 1 through 12, and anything else AA, you will find it there. And right now we're going to go through the room here and see who's here, because this is Newcomer Slipper Step Workshop. I'm Jan, alcoholic, your host for today and chairperson. Excuse me, I just had some seltzer water. It has effervescence. It's like drinking beer. You burp, except oh God. Occasionally, sometimes like I'll burp during the meeting and they'll be like, oh, this guy like just did a beer burp. I'm like, I know, bad, huh? Okay, so go around the room. Hey, Janelle, hi, how are you? If you would unmute, please, and come on in. Are you here for the AA meeting? Where are you calling from, and how long have you been sober?
Hi, my name is Janelle, and I'm from Florida, Central Florida, and I've been sober for about 3 days. I am coming back.
Oh yeah, you've been to AA before?
Yes, I have a sponsor. I've worked this program. But yeah, I had a lapsed, and I'm praying and believing that this is my rock bottom this time.
Well, this meeting is called Newcomer Slippers Step Workshop. So you picked the right meeting to come back to. And our recommendation for you is come to 5 meetings in a row, see how you like this particular meeting, and then we'll put you to work. And what we do here is we sponsor you. We give reading assignments, writing assignments. We take you through the AA program. We hand deliver an AA program to you, and take you through the entire program in about a month, month and a half. So, what is Alcoholics Anonymous? Alcoholics Anonymous is a 12-step process how to live your life without drinking. That's what it is. So you do this 1 through 12 step process, and as you go through it, voila, you don't ever have to drink again. It's a miracle. Okay, so and that's what we do here. Carl, hey Carl, how are you? North Carolina. You're doing the 5 days, aren't you?
Good evening. My name is Carl. I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
It's
And how many?
day 3.
Day 3. Okay.
I'm
All
glad
right.
you're here. Thank you for letting me introduce myself.
How do you how are you liking the meeting so far? You've been coming for 3 days.
So far, I enjoy the meetings. I do not enjoy this meeting is being recorded. You do not have my permission to record me.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, I'm going to help you out with that right now. Okay. I'm going to remove you, and you can say goodbye. Okay, there. Yep. That's just how that goes. Anybody that doesn't want to be no, let me just tell you about the recording, okay? Um, the the part with that is it's only the audio, and it says it right there. No, they don't even know who you are. People, would never know that you're here. But if you don't um like that and you don't like being recorded, then just leave. Don't be here. Find another meeting to go to. So we're not going to fight about it. You can find another meeting, and we're doing what we're doing here. This is AA 101. And what those well, if you go look at the YouTube part, you actually have no idea who's here. But what's really interesting about it is it helps people that are trying to get sober. Okay, so there you have it. Let's go to we got Robert. Rebecca's here. Hi, Rebecca. Stacy's here. Hi, Stacy. Lori. Lori, are you here for the AA meeting? Where are you calling from? And how
Yeah,
long have you been sober?
yeah, Lori alcoholic, calling from Arizona, 16 years.
Okay, glad you're here. Hey, hi Corey, how are you? Are you here for AA? And where are you calling from? And how long have you been sober?
Yes, sir. I am, I don't know, 12 days, I guess.
Good.
I'm calling from Southwest Colorado.
Southwest Colorado. Out in the
Durango's
oh
the
yeah. Okay.
closest.
That's all right. All right, glad you're here. Welcome aboard.
Thank
Welcome
you, sir.
to Newcomer Slipper Step Workshop. Here's Cal in Texas. The other day we had texts from California.
Hello, my name is Cal. I'm an alcoholic. I'm coming from Texas, and today is day number 19.
Have you been to this meeting before?
I have, yes.
Oh yeah, really? And so are you trying to do the 5 days, or are you just dropping in, or what's the deal?
Got a little bit of both.
A little bit of. Well, if you come for 5 days, then and if you think you like the meeting, then we'll take you through all 12 steps and teach you a basic AA program. This is the kind, and if you don't like it, that's okay too. This is the place where miracles happen. People, we do this meeting the same way they did it in the 1930s when AA started, the year Prohibition ended, and they ran it with about 100 people up till 1939. And 80% to 100% of all the people got sober and stayed sober. And what they did is they worked the AA program the same way we do it here in this meeting. One of the things I'm going to do right now is, let me see here, where is this? Post tools, there we are. So you can start your video now if you want to, and you can also, let's see, your profile pictures are showing, there you go. So we happen to turn all that stuff out off in the early part because we get Zoom bombers in this meeting. Yesterday we had 4 or 5 and we just like detonate them out of the room. Let's see here. So Jesse, let's see, finger on the button here. This is CM. Hey CM, are you here for the AA meeting? And where are you calling from? How long have you been sober? Jann S, CM. Oh, CM, I think you've been here before, haven't you?
No, I haven't been. Caleb calling from New York.
Oh, good.
Been sober. Yeah, I'm just swinging in, checking out the meeting.
Yeah.
Been
How long
sober
you-
since about 300 something days. At the end of November this month will be 1
Oh.
year. So
Are you an
340 days, something like that.
Okay. Are you in upstate New York?
Yes.
Were you at
Yes,
the
near
conference?
Watertown.
Were you at the conference this weekend?
No, I didn't make
No.
it.
Okay. All right. Well, anyways, we had people from here that went, or this group
Oh, cool.
that are from
Cool.
they're from upstate New York.
Yeah, I didn't make this one.
Have you ever seen Niagara Falls?
No,
No,
sadly I haven't yet. That's on my bucket list. It's pretty close to.
To be sober when you go there. All right. All right. I wonder how many drunk people slip and fall over the. That's not good. Okay, Ryan. Here's Ryan. Ryan, are you calling from Scotland today? How are you? Daniel from Texas. Oh, Ryan's probably sleeping. Sam in Virginia, 36 days. Okay, perfect. You guys turn your cameras on. Oh, there's Daniel. Hey, Daniel. So, where are you calling from today?
Texas.
Texas. And how long are you sober here?
About a month now, 2 months.
About 1 or 2 months. Okay. And were you here yesterday? Are you doing the 5 meetings with us or what?
No, this is my first time on this meeting.
Oh, is that
I've
right?
been
Okay.
doing Zoom meetings, so I just bounce around from one Zoom meeting to another.
Oh, yeah. And are you in a warehouse today or what?
No, I'm at my house.
Oh, I'm just
Yeah.
staring at a ceiling. It looked like you were in a storage shed or something.
No, you're good. You're good. But yeah,
I'm
thank
good.
you.
I didn't know where you were coming. Okay. I'm in the back room. All right. So let's see. What is today? Today's Sunday. And today is the day we read from Daily Reflections. Okay, with the voice of God. So you guys want to put there it is. Who put that up? Look at this. Somebody's fast. Who's fast on the trigger? Okay. So Cassie, you want to read the Daily Reflections?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let me just pull it up.
And
Okay.
he put it. Do you have a book? Do you have the book?
I don't have the book, no.
You have the book. Then you can
I'll
take
get
it
the
from your
book.
bedstand. You pull it over. You read it in the morning.
No, they
Okay.
had him at the convention, Cassie.
Shut up, Matt.
You
November
I bet
3rd.
were they selling service manuals at the convention too?
They were selling a lot of stuff, yeah.
That's a bad joke. Go ahead.
Okay, November 3rd. There is a direct linkage among self-examination, meditation, and prayer. Taken separately, these practices can bring much relief and benefit. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 98. If I do my self-examination first, then surely I'll have enough humility to pray and meditate, because I'll see and feel my need for them. Some wish to begin and end with prayer, leaving the self-examination and meditation to take place in between, whereas others start with meditation, listening for advice from God about their still hidden or unacknowledged defects. Still others engage in written and verbal work on their defects, ending with a prayer of praise and thanksgiving. These 3, self-examination, meditation, and prayer, form a circle without a beginning or an end. No matter where or how I start, I eventually arrive at my destination, a better life.
At the end.
The end.
So you would say, okay, that's it. Then back to you, Jan, in the studio.
Back to you, Jan, in the studio.
Oh, okay. That's Cassie, and she's also at New York State's Capitol. Harry Berto, you've been reading from the Daily Reflections too. Which one did you read today?
Today's, because I'm all caught up with all of them.
Yeah, today's. Which one did you read?
It was called Focusing and Listening.
Yeah, and what did you get out of it?
Well, it just says that meditation and prayer, that if you practice it, I mean, it'll benefit you. It'll be good for you.
Okay. Good. Okay. And so since I thought today what we could talk about, the topic will be, and Jesse, if you would just type this up to everyone in capital letters. Today's topic, colon, who and what is God? Oh, no. Yes. So let's start with Jeff. Jeff looks somewhat like God himself. Who and what is God in AA for our purposes here, Jeff? You're muted. You have to unmute.
Jeff
There you go.
Alcoholic.
Hey, Jeff.
Jeff Alcoholic, thank you for calling on me. What is God? God is love. God is what I get from working the 12 steps. In other words, the love and the spirituality that takes me out of my mind, my selfishness, my self-centeredness, and puts me on a whole nother plane where I can relate to this thing called love and God, and be the person that God, the spirit that I'm working with now, meant me to be, not the person that I became through my own selfishness, self-centeredness, and then active alcoholism. And you've asked in times to say what God is, other than that, as an entity. God is a friend. God is there. God keeps me from drinking. This love that I can get from the program takes me to God, is God, so to speak.
Very good. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
what? Can I ask you another question? What does I mean, sometimes people come to AA and they say, well, are you going to talk about a Christian God, or are you going to talk about, how does it fit into Judaism? How does it fit into Hinduism, Islam, or any other Catholicism or Protestantism? I mean, wait, it says it's a fellowship. Is this a church fellowship? What can you explain that? What is God in AA?
Very quickly, it took me a long time and prep me for being able to come to this meeting here in my head. Mark Houston says, you work the steps, that gives you God, no middleman, you make your, middleman, and and you learn how to run your life. There's no middleman. That's it. That's directly what going to come to learn you must do to be one with the universe, one with God, one with this spiritual program that's given to you through the 12 steps.
Oh, it's like that spiritual song that they sing at certain churches. Have a main line to Jesus. Where's that lady from yesterday? I always like to play that here at the meeting, and then the meeting gets going. Okay, Preston, who and what is God?
I'm Preston. I'm an alcoholic. Well, I'll just
Any
say
answer is the right answer here. So anything
okay.
goes.
I'll just say after like really trying to be disciplined and do like what the book and the steps say, and especially here lately, like God is this thing that's inside of me, but also out of me, that has really just been answering my prayers. One of my previous sponsors told me, he told me to get a little booklet, and it's for like these things he called God moments, like when I'm and I've had many of these days over these last 5 months where I'm desperate. I've hit a wall in my program or in life, and I'm desperate, and I'm basically like crying out to God and praying for help. And then you've alluded to it too, like maybe the next day or a couple days later, like these events or these things will happen, or I'll hear from another person, or like a message will come clear to me, and it's like an answered prayer. And so that's the difference between kind of where I'm at in my program now, as from like a couple years ago, where I could like, it's more of like experiencing it now, like where there's no like doubt about it now. It's like, it's, I don't know. I don't want to talk like forever about it. It's just I've been experiencing it a lot now, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So, okay, good. Let's go over to Jesse. Who and what is God to you, Jesse? Meanwhile, I'm looking for that song, Mainline Jesus, but don't anybody
Man.
become offended.
For me, I don't know. I have like I guess kind of a cliche answer probably, but to me, God is just a way maker. Um, with some of what I've talked about where I'm at right now with court and legal issues is just um God to me has just really been a comforter lately. Um and like I said, I believe that he's going to make a way for uh whatever I need. I'm worried about um jail for a couple months, and I've thought heavily about, hey, what's that going to mean for my recovery. I've worried like hey, if I'm locked up for 5 months, how am I going to view that sober time? Am I going
I
to
have a
view that I didn't
question.
really? Yeah, man.
So do you pray?
I do every day.
So what are your prayers on?
Oh man.
Just give us an example.
Yeah,
This
a
is
lot of them are really, Lord, just intervene in this situation and help give me peace to not overthink things. A lot of it I have to look back at the serenity prayer of, is there anything that I can do right now? And actively the answer is no. So
Does he talk to you?
yes,
You get answers from God.
I do.
Do
Yeah,
you have a personal relationship with him?
I do.
So you hear him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now in the mental hospital, they would call that being psychotic.
I know. Yeah.
I
Schizophrenia.
know. No, just I'm just messing with you. No, I talk to him and I get answers, and I don't always like it. It's like, well, should I call this person up, Lord, and give him a hard time? And the answer goes, no, Jan, don't do that. I'm like, "Ah, come on. Right. Yeah. And if you do go to jail, I think they have a lot of church in jail. I think they have preachers that come in. Preston, everybody who's been to jail shakes their head. You're up, they sure do. Okay. All right. So Cassie, what about you and God? Who is God? What is God? Do you pray? Do you believe in God? Anything?
I had a really hard time in the beginning of this program with the all of the God verbiage, and that was definitely a struggle for me. But going through the program and realizing that there is something greater than me, and a higher power that's helping me to become successful in this program, to change my life. I know that I'm not the one that is steering the ship.
What was
Um,
your resistance to God to begin with?
I just don't have a religious belief that there, with,
Yeah.
I don't want to make a lot of people, I don't want to say the wrong
Oh, go
thing.
right. Go ahead. It's only Sunday.
Yeah, seriously, it's Sunday, exactly. I just never really had a religious
Mhm.
relationship with really any kind of religion. I always believed there was something bigger than me.
So when you were a kid growing up, you didn't go to church, that kind of stuff?
I did when I was younger. I had my first communion, and then something happened with the church and my parents, and we stopped going.
A Catholic church.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I think
Um,
in AA, I mean, people have different experiences with God. When I came to AA, I looked at the steps on the wall and I thought, oh boy, here we go. I was like, okay, what? I just want to quit drinking because it says first step is powerless over alcohol, life to become manageable. good. Second step says, came to believe a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity. And I'm like, all right, here it comes. And the third step, you know, made a decision to turn our will and our life over to the care of God as we understood him. And I'm like, all right, here's the God thing. So now what? And then they, they went right to inventory. Why do I have to do this? And then a fifth step, that's like confession. And I've been there. And then 6 and 7 and 8 and 9. So there was quite a bit of talk about God. I just left it alone. I just stepped aside, sidestepped it. But here's the thing. When I was drinking toward the end, I would be home drunk at night and I would say, God, I will do anything. It's the only time I could pray. I will do anything if you can help me stop drinking. And that went on day after day until finally I made the call to AA. Now, today I believe that God or my higher power led me to Alcoholics Anonymous, to the phone call. My prayer was answered, even though my prayer was nightly in the drunken, the insanity of drunkenness, alcoholism. And then it took another 10 years. This is my story kind of thing, where I was going to meetings. And at first, I had a girlfriend who was a Buddhist. So we would chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Anybody ever do that? Or is it just me? There you go. She has. Yeah. Rebecca, you're my girl. All right. So, so I was doing that. And then I was also hedging my bets. I could practice Catholicism. So I would pray, chant, and then I would go to mass so that I try to hedge my bets. I didn't want to end up going to hell. Then it's like, okay. So, but then I gave up on that. I thought, oh, this is stupid. And then I got into the human potential movement, where it's I am God, you are God, we are all God. So I started to think that I was God. But we have a nice saying in AA, which goes like this. There's two things to know about God. One is you are not it. And one, there is a God, and two, you are not him. So that blew my whole human potential movement. People would go, wait, you think you're God? And yeah, you act like it too. I'm like, great, this is not going well for me. And then everything went to pieces around 11 years sober. The wife left, kids left, got thrown out of the house, lost all my money, went broke, and then started asking, okay, who is God? If there is a God, show yourself to me. And that's when somebody came across my life. I was selling cars at the time as a temporary job. And this girl came in and her car was all dented up. You usually can tell alcoholics' cars, they're the ones that are dented up. So if you're looking for an AA meeting and you're driving around a parking lot and you see the parking lot with all the dented cars, that's where the AA meeting is. And not in Boulder, they're all nice, Mercedes and BMWs, but that's this town. Any real city, they have dented cars. So this girl comes in with her dented up Toyota. Should I have to buy a new car? And I just asked her, I felt sorry for her. I said, wait, are you on drugs? She goes, no, I'm on Jesus. I was like, great, Jesus makes you crash your car? She goes, well, no, I found the Lord and then I stopped drinking and taking drugs. And I was like, oh, okay. So she then invites me to her church, because I told her that I had been in AA and I was sober and I was having this wild spiritual experience. And she said, oh, you've had a visitation by the Holy Spirit. I said, what is that? She said, well, come to our church on Sunday and, you'll find out. So I go to the church, and in this church was this feeling that I had felt this one night when God had appeared to me in the middle of the night. At some people call it 3 o'clock in the trip, where I woke up and the room was electric and God spoke to me. And actually, at that time, he told me to find out as much about Jesus as I could. I thought, oh, great, here we go. Now I'm having visions. I think I'm having a nervous breakdown. So I go to this church, and it was Richie Fury's rock and roll church. And I thought, this is great. So I went there for like 5 years, got baptized, born again, and sang in the church. It was rock and roll singing, and it was pretty until I realized that it was a cult. And I said, I already belong to one cult. I don't need a second one. This one being a cult, but kind of a joke. But anyways, no, I stopped going. But I did have this huge turnaround. I did have one of the things that I learned by going to church is they teach you all about the Bible. Also, they teach you about God, because in AA, the big book says more will be revealed to you and you as you trudge this road of happy destiny. They're referring you. See, early on in AA, they used the Bible while they were writing this book. So they used some of the designs from the book of James, that is the one of confession, forgiveness, looking at doing a moral inventory, all of that. That's all straight out of the Bible. They didn't invent it. I thought that they did, because when I went there and they started talking about it in the Bible, I thought, oh my God, they got this from AA. And somebody pointed out, I said, no, they got it a couple thousand years ago, Jann. And I was like, oh, or maybe further back than that. It's kind of a joke, actually, but it was transformational in my life. It changed everything. And I went to a bunch of born again churches, that like the evangelical crazy ones. They were fun. Especially, when they and I even worked in Christian radio for a while. I did a talk show there about drugs and alcohol. It was and this was during the time when anybody remember Tammy and Jim Baker? So they were crazy. They were gone. So they were around, and all the other preachers that you see on TV, they were completely insane. But I was like an AA person going to these churches and trying to integrate what they were teaching, because I didn't know anything about it. This more will be revealed part, but it really did help me out quite a bit. It brought me to a certain level, and then I could move on from there. But I still feel a connectedness. Like, Jesse was just, I asked Jesse, I said, so when you talk to God, does he answer your prayers? And, he said, yes. And that's the experience for me. I do get answers and I get pretty clear. We even talk about it in the big book, the part in the 86 through 88, where it says, we ask God to discipline us in a way that he would have us be. They even talk about that in the church, that we alcoholics are undisciplined. They also talk about that God, if you have a relationship with God, there will be some corrective measure delivered to you. Does anybody here ever get that? Do you feel like, you decide you're going to do something, and there's a part of you that knows you shouldn't do it, and then it falls apart right in the middle of? Are you shaking your head yes there, Jeff? Yeah,
Yes,
sorry, go ahead.
because I remember my sponsor said, Jeff, alcoholic. One thing he said was, I said, well, what about, I brought my alcoholic mind in here, and I'm starting to realize, what they say about is that, we leave the bottle at the door, but we bring our thinking in there. And sometimes I get, and he said, something? He said, the more you get sober, the more you work the steps. He said, you'll kind of know, ask yourself, does a sober person do this? And so it was kind of, me not asking to be, it was me taking action and then being given some direction, being in the ability. And that ties in with what you've implored us in this meeting group, not to, when newcomers sponsor newcomers, we're bringing our old, it's not a good idea. We can sponsor, right, because we're bringing our thinking and our behavior and our lack of understanding of prayer in, and we pass that around.
So that's why we do pages 86 through 88, because it gives us it teaches us the basic prayer that we should be doing to communicate with God. So are you getting that part, Cassie? the 86 through 88.
Oh yeah, I do that, and I have a spiritual belief in that sense.
Like,
Absolutely. I'm not a religious person.
well, I mean, but you're having contact with God. You think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, there you go. See, it doesn't get any better than that.
No, it doesn't.
That's like
Right,
huge.
right.
It's big.
Yeah.
Okay. Too much fun here. Ryan's sleeping. Hey Sam, how about you? Which the topic is who and what is God? Do you have a relationship with God, Sam?
I do indeed. For me, God is primarily support. He's there when I need to fall back on. I see God as ultimate judge, at least in my life. I can't speak
Yeah.
for others. God, something that keeps me in the straight and narrow rather than falling off a cliff or going and doing things that are detrimental to my own health or the health of people I love.
You pray?
I do pray.
What do you pray?
I pray for strength. I pray for guidance. My biggest fear, like I said, is falling off the track, really. It's doing something that isn't just stupid in the short term, but that could cause harm for people around me.
Yep. How about you, Lori? Yeah, no, I like it.
Hi, Lori Alcoholic. My God is my guidance, and it's my protector. It protects me from myself. Serenity prayer, whenever I have an issue that I know I'm going to react how I shouldn't or get upset, I do the serenity prayer, and it makes me stop and think and not react like I shouldn't. I ask, what would he do in this situation? What could I do to make it better rather than making things worse, which is what I tended to do before. And he doesn't he doesn't talk to me, but I know it's being answered through my actions.
Keep coming to this meeting and he will talk to you. I guarantee it. We have a main line to God in this meeting.
Good.
We do, Bob. I'm telling you, we have. Here it is, right here. This is
Jesus on the main line. You can tell him what you want. And how many know that his line is never busy? Look at somebody, tell neighbor, whatever you need, you can call on Jesus. Tell him his line is never busy. If you really believe, clap your hands and praise the Lord.
You can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
No.
Can you hear it now?
No.
Can't hear it, or can you?
Can't hear it. I can hear you, but I can't hear it. What's the name of it?
With Norman Hutchins. They play it on the church. You've heard this before, Sam, haven't you?
Can anybody else hear it?
I can hear it.
Oh, you can hear it.
Coming in broken, but I can hear it.
I can hear little bits and pieces, but I can't make anything out.
All right. Well, anyways, it's called it's Norman Hutchins, Jesus on the Main Line. It's Sunday here on a Newcomer Slipper Step Workshop, talking about God. Let's go to Harry Berto. How about you, Harry Berto? Who is God to you, etc.?
Love keeps me on the right path because growing up, we used to go to church with my dad and my parents, but that was because he played in the mariachi and they would play in the service at the church every Sunday. So growing up, I grew up believing, but it came to a certain point that I was going through so many bad things and so many bad things were happening to me. I kind of stopped believing. I was wondering if there even was one. So I mean, I would still pray and stuff, but bad things will still happen to me. And up until the point where I almost died and from drinking, and then I went to the clinic. They told me if I work the program AA and then do what they told me at the clinic that it'll help me. I thought they were just blowing smoke up my behind because that was their job, but I mean it worked. I got better. I don't get anxiety anymore and stuff like that. So a lot of things went away. Little things are still here, but it's not as bad. It's a lot better than I was before.
Yep, keep coming. It gets better. Let's go. How about you, Rebecca? You and God, how are you guys doing?
You know, God to me is love and feeling that energy flow through me. You know, when I have defect in thinking, my my skepticism and my cynicism is full blown. You know, why, you know, same with religion. Why do I have to learn calculus? You know, what does that have to do with me? What did God have to do with me? So now it's just letting that go and just having that energy, and things happen for a reason. When I was in the hospital, the chaplain came in my room. I was like, what the fuck is this? Am I dying? What are you doing? Get out of here. And I didn't, and they looked at me in the eyes, said, just do what you need to do. Just do what you need to do. I was like, okay. And then they came again and he said, okay, you're leaving today. And that was a month later towards the end. And I said, yeah. He says, well, yeah, I don't think you need me. And I was started to talk and I said, well, wait, I'm a little nervous about leaving. And we started to talk and about my drinking. And he went into the library and got me a big book and gave it to me. And that was just God. It was God. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And
Thanks.
here you are right here.
Exactly.
Yeah, very
We're
cool.
not a glum lot.
Yeah, I love it. How about you, Corey?
You know, been a godless heathen for the majority of my life, Jan.
Yeah.
And you know, early in this program, right? I'm 12 days in. Obviously, all of you are alcoholics, and you know what it takes, right, to get to this point, right? So I'm finding God. I'm trying to find him or her or you know a spiritual point in my life. And you know, I kind of like Cassie, I guess. I didn't grow up necessarily or just organized religion hasn't been a part of my life. I really
Yeah,
liked what
we walk away from it somehow, but I'll tell you one thing. We do find it here. And if you come to this meeting for 5 days, see how you like it, and then we'll take you, if you decide you like it, we'll put you to work. And this is a high-speed train, go from 0 to 90. And by the time we get up to step 11, we just come through, crashing through the gates of heaven and straight into the arms of God. That's what goes on in this meeting. I guarantee it. It
love the
happens.
optimism.
Oh, well, it's the truth. That's why we play this song, which is too much fun. Here it is. Talks about he used to drink and shoot heroin. Now he mainlines Jesus. Listen to this on Sunday mornings with your coffee. You'll be running out the door, going to the first church, Baptist church you can find. Sam, did you ever hear this song before?
No, I don't believe so.
Well, now you know. Norman Hutchins. And who did we miss here? Robert Pensacola. How about you and God, Robert? Are you guys hooked up or what?
He knows better for me than I do, so I have to continue to ask him to direct my thinking and that his will be done like it's suggested it works better way for me to ask him and do as he will choose me to do versus what I do, because self will run riot will get me drunk and get me high and get me to be an asshole.
And do you pray? Do you pray?
It says like on page 87, better men before us have done this, so why don't I do it for myself? And if I ain't doing it myself, then how obviously can I give it away? But to answer your question, yes.
There you go. All right, cool, good. And let's go to Stacy. Hi, Stacy. How about you? You and God, how are you? How are you guys doing? How are you together?
Hi, Stacy, alcoholic. Yes, I like Cassie too. I wasn't really religious. Like I never have been. I've studied all sorts of religion to try to be part of it. And then eventually I just kind of came up with my own belief and my own God as I understood him. And come to find out that's what this program's like. And I notice now that my eyes are open with prayer and meditation, like I'm seeing how God acts in my life almost daily. So
Yeah,
we're
man.
good.
That's exactly true. Daniel in Texas, how about you?
For me, I was raised Catholic, but I haven't practiced in years. But I do pray here and there, but I, yeah, it's been a while.
Well, that's good. So come to this meeting for 5 days if you want to, and then see how you like it. That goes for you, Corey, and anybody else. And we will hand deliver an AA program to you. And it takes us right up through the step 11, which is about prayer and meditation. And then the doors start to open. In fact, Bill Wilson and about 100 AAs went down to Aldous Huxley's island. He wrote the book, The Doors of Perception. The band The Doors named themselves after that. They went there and they took acid. Bill took about 20 LSD trips. It was a way that they thought would alter brain chemistry and cure alcoholism. It didn't. But what it did was it opened up other doors. And it was a kind of a controversial time during AA. But you can blame Alcoholics Anonymous and Bill Wilson for the psychedelic revolution in America beginning in the 1960s, because Timothy Leary and Richard Alpert, better known as Ram Dass, picked up on Huxley's Island and what happened with the AA people, and then started to pass out acid trips at Harvard University in 1958 and 59. And by the time 1962, 3, 4 came around, LSD was going across America like crazy, opening up all these different doors of perception. Unfortunately, a lot of people got killed from it. It was probably not the greatest way to get to God. But Alcoholics Anonymous was part of that revolution in this search for treatment of, and they're doing it again now with not AA, but some people are now doing psychedelic mushrooms. We had one girl leave this group to take mushrooms and never came back. Occasionally I call her up to see how she's doing. She's still sober. But that's we don't recommend it here. It is slightly dangerous. It can be tremendously dangerous. I had to stop doing, well, I really had quit all of that. I didn't do much of it. I had to stop doing any kind of mind altering drugs. When I got here, including alcohol, pot, LSD, mushroom, none of that. That doesn't work here. But I did find the pure way through to God. I feel like this, what AA directs us to, higher power, God, love, that it is the true source. Without, we don't need to attach a religion to it. Who did I miss? Matt, you and God, anything?
Yeah, I mean, I was raised Catholic, so the concept of God really wasn't a big hard pill to swallow as far as the 12 steps or anything. But I think the big book mentions, this fourth dimension, and really, I mean, it's sort of that. I mean, for me, like this intangible other dimension or power that you can tap. I mean, and I wasn't utilizing it really for years. I mean, and really praying and stuff gives me, and speaking with him or God gives me an internal power to help me over an energy. I think like Lori said that to overcome problems during the day. I mean, I use the serenity prayer like Lori said almost every day when something comes up. It'll be sort of an impromptu prayer. And it really calms me down, or just and
Oh, good.
before things start to build up and continue to grow. So but yeah,
So
I
do
think
you
it's an
do
internal
you do the
power that really,
directions on page 86 where it tells us where we ask God?
yeah, I do the morning prayer. It's a prayer, like a little shortened prayer on from page 86 in the morning.
Well, it's a very
God,
long prayer, and
well,
it's in detailed. It goes on for 3 pages, and it talks about asking God to help us in various areas of our life. Let's see, what's it say here? Says, getting
direct my
dark, I
thinking.
can't read. Oh, that's
Yeah, I've got it here.
You do? What's it
Yeah,
say?
it's a shortened version of the whole page of 86.
No,
But
no, no, no. What is that? Did you write it
that's what
yourself?
they said at the convention, so that's all I know.
Oh, the convention. That's a conference. Those people still wear ties. No judgment here. Let's see here. On awakening, let us think about our day. We consider our plans for the day before. Here it is. This is the prayer. We ask God to direct our thinking. That's a prayer. We
Be
ask God
divorced
to
and
employ our
self-pity.
mental faculties. We ask God to place our thought life on a higher plane. There's a lot of prayer here, kids, from 86 to 88. I'm telling you, God will answer you when you start talking to him this way. 86 through 88, everybody here, make sure you start doing this daily. Be out of the book. Forget what they said at the conference. People are dropping off the meeting. Just quickly, slowly. Where's Cassie? Is she still with us? Have you left us yet, Cassie? No, I know you're probably too busy. All through the day, we ask God that when we're doubtful or agitated for the right answer. See, I do that. It helps me. And I'll ask him. I'll say, "Should I do this?" Knowing that I shouldn't, and he'll go, "No." I don't really get booming voices, but inside my head. All right. You want to read the promises there, Jesse? Page 83. I think we got everybody right.
Sure.
You guys are the best.
All right. So if we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. We're going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word serenity and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook on life will change. Fear of people and economic insecurity will leave us, and we will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises? We think not. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them.
All right, thank you. Here comes the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. If you need confirmation being at this meeting, just write to the email address that's up in chat, stepworkshop1@gmail.com. Plus, we meet here every day at the same time. And this meeting is officially over.